Hey guys, Zarma here. Yeah, this is gonna be a very special one for sure. Um, this space I wanted to specifically get into, and this to me really is something that I cherish a lot. So, um, as you can see, player talk, and this is another space that Ubuntu Basketball is going to specialize in. Um, for those that basically do not know, I actually have been doing international scouting and scouting for some years. Wow, come to think of it, I mean, it's been now more than almost a decade, even if not more. I mean, close to a decade and a half, so 15 years I've been actually dealing with this stuff. And I have this, let's say, knack and perspective to pass on to players. So yeah, part of basically what I'm doing is I'm using the space that wonderful Jos Hoyefeld has actually created. So Scorelet is one space that I'm basically utilizing to, let's say, communicate through feedback sessions with players with. But on a whole other level, I also am doing these player advisory packages through our website. And that is really allowing me to get into the mindset of where I can really help out players the most. And I initially just wanted to begin player talk with expressing how I really got into this and why I got into this. So, I mean, having dealt with players on and off throughout the years and trying to give them, let's say, not just a mental space, but overall the performance capabilities off the court that would actually translate to more on court circumstances has been key to me. I've worked with a bunch of players at NBA level. Unfortunately, I can't name names, but they have been top quality players. And some of them used to be college players that were trying to get into the league. And luckily enough, they all did. But um, the whole thing was in the past that I was trying to achieve was how to get players that were mediocre performance to better level performers through going through their, let's say, styles of play, game video, and then basically going through possessions that they would play out and understand exactly where they would miss out an opportunity or make a mistake to basically go through. And that step by step, with more experience I got into the gear of understanding how that could actually be corrected. And I figured out that it takes feedback sessions with players specifically. And this, I mean, in no way should this, let's say, replace what team coaches are doing or player development people are doing. But this is a space that is special, and it needs a level of expertise that I feel I bring to the table, and it's something the players that I work with really do enjoy a lot, especially when they here with me. Um, yeah, obviously, since I've actually moved back from Turkey to the Netherlands a number of years ago, I've been working more with, let's say, localized Dutch players even more. And it's not just at pro level. I mean, there are youth development players or under 22, under 20 players, even under 18 players that I basically try to help out. They're either looking to improve on to understand how their level of gameplay really does work, or it's a matter of understanding what they just simply can become specialists in. I mean, you could be a good free throw shooter, but that doesn't necessarily translate to the fact that you can score well. Uh, as crazy as it might sound, I mean, you might be a good rebounder, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can potentially track every single offensive rebound or get into the possession of how to figure out how to get the best offensive rebound circumstance out when you're on court. I mean, some things are a matter of timing, some things are a matter of understanding where you constantly make the same mistakes. Or, for instance, I mean, the game of basketball itself is dependent on making the minimal amount of mistakes. Some players, due to their level of experience, think that just by playing instinctively can overcome, let's say, not watching enough of themselves or watching the players that they want to emulate to get to a better place. Exactly with the level of expertise and advisory insight that I provide, I try to give them that, let's say, insight, and on a monthly basis try to improve them and get them to a better circumstance. Now, all this put aside, there could be players that are at literally what I call at the beginner level that want to get to a mediocre level and then want to improve on becoming the best potential player that they can be. Then I also work with the pro level athletes that basically are stuck in a rut or struggle to see or minimize the number of mistakes that they really do make. I mean, it's literally tweaking those 2-3 possessions where they might struggle to get better in. So, in a nutshell, this is the kind of the why and the how of how I got into dealing with this. And yeah, I mean, in the coming, let's say, talks that I want to basically get into with Player Talk, I'm going to be digging into, let's say, the what I basically deal with, and then the top 4 or 5 keys in specific areas that I basically dig into, and how I watch game film, especially with players, because I think that that is something also that is usually a hit and miss. I mean, a lot of team coaches, they try to do their best in terms of getting in, watching video with, let's say, their assistant coaches or their head coach. However, I mean, obviously, what the head coach is going to do is he's going to look at the overall perspective of the team and how we can actually get the best out of 5 players on court. But on an individual basis, it's also a challenge for team coaches to try to spend time one-on-one, which they actually struggle to not find at some points because they really don't have time for it. That's where I really do step in and try to give these players the right kind of insight that their coaches potentially would want from them, so they actually can perform better to make the team better. So yeah, those kind of insights I'm definitely going to be sharing. Hope to also get a couple of players that I have either worked with in the past or have assisted with in the past to try to get on Player Talk and then have a talk with them on where they are right now or how they've potentially improved or how they can even improve further. So those are the kind of things that I'm definitely going to be getting into in this space as well. And yeah, I mean, if you have any kind of questions or let's say comments or insights about what this space of Player Talk potentially should be or would become, or how it should potentially look to you, either as a basketball player or even as an enthusiast, to be honest, love to hear from you. And in any case, feel free to check out the Linktree, let's say, link that you see over here on YouTube, or if you see it anywhere on any of my social media, let's say, presence, feel free to have a look over there. For players that basically want to get insight from me, I'd highly appreciate you looking into Let's Score. Scorelet. Sorry about that, Yost. So hopefully it doesn't hurt you too much, but anyway. But yeah, so look at the Scorelet and then click on my specific Scorelet link to basically get to me. And yeah, I'd be more than happy to provide you feedback and hope that this space really grows into something interesting. Thank you so much, and hope to definitely keep on doing this as much as can be. Again, this was Amai from Ubuntu Basketball, and this was Player Talk.